Welcome, everyone. Every time you walk through these doors, you're taking steps to find yourself. Remember, this is a safe place. There's no judgment. You are accepted right where you're at, and wherever that leads, to find your own peace and happiness. Feel free to express yourself to release your anxiety. I want you to be able to walk out with inner strength to finally be free.
Hey, what's good, Authentics? Welcome to yet another Wisdom Thursday on the People's Journal, where authentic stories are told by real people. By now, you've probably forgot. I'm your boy Pac-Man, Mr. 925. Intambo yomhlakazi wayithinta uzochokeka. Been a minute. It has been a while since we've connected. So I would really like to say welcome to spring. Congratulations if you've made it this far. It is by the grace of God. It is not by our choices. Although obviously our choices do play a part in terms of how far we go with our lives, but being alive really is determined by God. So congratulations to you and to me for being able to, or being given this opportunity to breathe. And we need to realize that this is a one in a lifetime opportunity. This is the most important opportunity that we can grasp, because this life thing ain't guaranteed. Tomorrow really is not guaranteed, but congratulations to me and you for making it this far. I know that most of you have been curious. What is really happening with the People's Journal? We haven't been receiving Wisdom Thursdays. We haven't been receiving any content from the sky. What's been happening, And I would like to say life happens to all of us. So a lot has really been happening, but I am excited that I am working on content. I am excited that life happened and life is still happening, because I'm still on the wheel of it. It's just now I am finding a bit of balance and adjustment to this life thing, but we're still here, we're still striving, we'll get there. A lot has been happening, and I feel like as creatives it is important that we acknowledge and embrace the times when we are on breaks or when things are not happening for us. It could really be a dark space. It really is a dark space. That's how I feel, and that's how I've felt, and that's what I've experienced firsthand. I think I now understand what it means to be in a writer's block. I now understand what it means to be by yourself, with yourself, and not think about what am I producing next, because life really can't put you in that position. And if you don't accept, you'll be defeated. If you don't take time to embrace that moment, you'll be defeated. And therefore, there's so many valuable lessons that I've learned through the face of not striving to produce, but being in that present moment, feeling the things that I needed to feel, learning some of the lessons that I needed to learn at that time, learning to be by myself, learning to listen back to myself, because most of the time our voices, ourselves, we are diluted by what's happening around us, that we end up losing ourselves, and we end up losing our most valuable, powerful asset, which is our own voice. I won't lie, it has really been difficult, but at the same time, it's been a blissful journey that I had to embrace and be one with, and realize that it's for my own good. It's also for the good of the people that I'll be exchanging my energies with, because I needed to learn and to be in this space. I don't want to dwell too much on that, but I think as we go on, some of the lessons and some of the things that I've learned, you get to experience and you get to discover as I produce more content for you. So I'd like to say thank you to your patience, and if you're also going through difficult times, because we are all going, I'd like to send love, peace, and strength to you, and just know that I am also praying for you, because I know that there are people who've also been praying for me and for the channel. The thing that I wanted to talk about today is Depression is not a sad sign. Depression is not a sad sign. And that's something I had to learn through myself. That I am the most joyful, happiest, bubbly being in all my circle, in all my social life. But I didn't realize that I was depressed, which is something that I had to discover while I was just by myself. And I think I just want to read something from a book that's been part of this journey with me, that's been my strength in this journey. And it is a book by Imane Repiti. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. Imane Repiti. And the book is called Sermons of Souls. There is a topic there where she speaks about how our bodies remember what our minds forget. And I would like to just read that and then maybe try to break down what I've been going through and why I am proposing that depression is not a sad sign. Our bodies remember what our minds forget. Human life is so complex. There is no simple way to understand just how deep we go. We think we have forgotten about the things that hurt us, and so we move on. But everything lives way beneath our consciousness, deeper, right inside our very cells. Think about times you have recoiled from something, not knowing or actually not remembering why your body reacted like it did. That's because some deeper parts of you knows. Some deeper parts of you has been keeping an inventory of every small, every taste, every memory, every feeling in your human experience. Sometimes we don't know that we need healing because we have forgotten the hurt. We think its existence has been expunged from the very records of our existence. But our bodies remember and they tap at the windows of our psyche, our consciousness, letting us know they are there, waiting for recognition, waiting for a moment to be acknowledged and healed. You could be standing in a supermarket buying a tin of beans, and all of a sudden a pang and a cloud rains over you, right there where you stand. You panic because you don't understand. You have forgotten. Something has crawled out from under you and reminds you have unfinished business to take care of. You could be sitting at lunch with a friend, feeling energetic, and a smell or taste changes your geographic, taking you to some dark place that you had forgotten about. You have questions to answer. On my radio show one morning, a clinical psychologist spoke about the healing we need as a nation. A healing that extends way beyond last week, last month, last year, but to decades ago. Healing for the hurt that has been passed through generations of suffering in this land. Hurt we thought could be papered over by goodwill, hope for a changed time, a happier, less painful time. Hurt we thought we could bury under spades of optimism and good intentions. But it hurts we must acknowledge, we must face, and then we must, with fortitude, begin to heal. There is also the hurt we just carry on, that we just carry in our lives. An insult here, an abuse there, a humiliation here, a slight there, an insult here, a beating there, grinding us down emotionally, pushing the memories so deep that we don't even consciously remember anymore, repressing, packaging, layering, shoving down, till we think we have forgotten. But our bodies remember. Our very cells are the sentinels that point back to us. Pay attention. Deal with me. Respect me. I am part of you. It's not an easy process because it means facing the very thing we have been running away from. the thing we as humans just don't want to or can't deal with. No one wants to be taken to the ground zero of their lives. No one wants to face the destructions because it is so painful and it means raising hard questions and sometimes worse still, calling us to do something about it. So we carry on like we have stones in our shoes, looking fine and put together on the outside, but hurting, bruising, and blistering on the inside. Our bodies remember what our minds forget. It's important to listen to what it's saying. The listening does not have to be hostage to fear. Any process of dealing with our stuff can only be good because it means replacing the tightly gathered prison cells of hurt with the sometimes complicated freedom of healing. Because sometimes that healing comes with pointing back at a perpetrator, the outing of the evil, the fracturing of relationships. But sometimes that freedom is not about the consequences for others. It is just about you. You taking back your power, honoring yourself and finding peace. Our bodies remember. Listen a little more closely today. Such a beautiful text. Our bodies remember what our minds have forgot. And it just kind of reminded me of how depression is not a sad sign. Because most of the time we think we can identify a depressed person, especially in today's time. Yes, maybe back then. And I'm not also saying that there are people who are not depressed that we can't identify. But I'm saying that we've sort of mastered to mask how we present or display ourselves in public, in our social lives, in our social circles, that people would think, oh, Pac-Man is always happy. Pac-Man has nothing wrong going on in his life. And it is something that I thought to myself, which now I'm realizing that I was just being fictional about it, thinking that every time when I go out there, and I'm not saying that I'm not happy or joyful. Genuinely, I'm a very free-spirited person. Genuinely, I am happy. It's hard to fake that, I've noticed about myself. But I've also learned that I've been very good in suppressing the bad memories. I've been very good in suppressing how I feel so that I can just carry on and move on and survive and push through and be a strength to others except for myself. So we go on with our lives making the mistake of checking on each other because Peko right or Sbanban is fine. But it's just a reminder that we must all remember that depression is not a sad sign. Just because someone, in fact, in what I've discovered, it is the happiest people that are depressed, and sometimes they may not also be conscious of it. But there comes a time where we become triggered. There comes a time where when it hits, because our bodies remember what our minds have forgot. We might have brainwashed ourselves in thinking that we are okay, because it's easy to do that. It's easy to brainwash your mind. It's easy to tell your mind to think of a certain particular thing and not the other thing. We've been trained a lot of times to suppress the negative feelings, suppress the negative thoughts. And I am learning that those thoughts are also as important as the positive thoughts that we embrace or that we are embracing. Yes, the world is full of negativity. But maybe, just maybe, those negative feelings, those negative expressions, those negative signs are a signal that, hey, buddy, you're probably going through something and you must deal with that thing. Because suppressing that thing won't help you or doesn't mean that you've healed. It just means that you just packed it there and left it unfinished. And the day it will come as an unfinished business, it will hunt you and it will kill you. Hence, we have a lot of people causing the suicide, and we're thinking, but Lumen be alright is all. But that thing triggered, and he was by himself or he was by herself and couldn't stand the mountain of problems that he or she's been suppressing at the time. So I really wanted us in starting this new season that we go back to the things that we thought we have dealt with, or the things that we have packed for so long. Yes, we don't have the time because the world is constantly evolving, and the world doesn't revolve around us. It's the saying that's trending, or it's the saying that's out there in the surface. Our health, our mental health revolves around us, and there's people that are dependent on us that we must heal for, but we must heal for ourselves first. So I hope that on this Wisdom Thursday, you get to be reminded, I also get to be reminded that I do not have to pack the things that make me feel less, or that make me feel sad, or that sometimes I feel, these are negative thoughts. I need to brainwash them. I need to embrace them. I need to deal with them head on, face them, because if I leave them as unfinished business, then they will come back some other day and they will haunt me, and it will be the end of me, or it will be the end of you. So I really wanted to remind us that it is important that we must constantly strive to heal, that we must constantly work on our healing process, and not think that as soon as we see a bit of light, we have healed. The healing process is a long journey. We must seek to speak to professionals. We must seek counseling now and then. It is important. We must learn to speak up, especially my kind of people, because I think there's a lot of people who are good at expressing themselves right then and there and letting things out, and there's people like myself who are really good at bottling things in. That insult, it wasn't supposed to. I wasn't supposed to be insulted in that manner, but because of I'll take it in, it's fine. It becomes a danger as I grow, as I come across more challenges, because I've suppressed things, and now the bottle wants to empty itself, and when it empties itself, it's difficult now to deal with all of these things at the same time. So we shouldn't exhaust the opportunity when it's here for us to express ourselves, and it's a learning curve for all of us. But yeah, we should remember that our bodies remember what our minds forget, and that depression is not a sad sign. We must constantly check up on each other, check up on our people, find out how everyone is doing, but also check up on ourselves as well. I think I've said a mouthful. This is Wisdom Thursday. Thank you for your patience, and let's keep growing. Let's heal together. Let's empower each other. Let's check up on each other.